Possiamo dire che viviamo in un mondo un po' particolare? Secondo me sì. Ben arrivati sul mio canale EVP, Energy, Vibrations, Positivity, anche se questo video è un po' particolare perché vorrei creare un po' di consapevolezza. Cose per me non nuove, però sono riassunte in un video e ho voluto approfittare un attimo. Non voglio farvi perdere ulteriore tempo, andiamo insieme a buttare un occhio su cosa hanno da dire i grandi di questa terra.
God is dead, according to the World Economic Forum, who have also declared that Jesus is fake news.
In che senso Dio morto?
And that WEF leaders have acquired divine powers to rule over humanity.
What?
According to the WEF, a new one world religion has arrived, and it unites all of humanity in worshipping at the altar of climate science, techno-communism, and eugenics.
Esatto, ed è ciò che ho letto nel libro di Klaus Schwab. Leggetelo. L'avete letto?
If you find it hard to believe Klaus Schwab's WEF would go this far, you clearly haven't been paying attention to developments in recent times.
Tranqui, sono consapevole, sì. Però sai, non è sempre facile parlarne con delle persone perché ti guardano già per dire "Are you crazy?"
Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, Yuval Noah Harari, has announced that the WEF has been so successful in its plans that it's acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction.
Così come sono capaci appunto di creare casino per poi trovare la soluzione. Sounds familiar?
The blasphemy doesn't stop there. Harari also promises that the WEF will turn humans into gods.
No, aspetta. Questa va rimandata. Questo dovete risentire.
The WEF will turn humans into gods.
Developing even bigger powers than ever before. We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to renew life.
The WEF is also increasingly hostile to Christianity and other major religions. If you read between the lines just a little, it's clear that the WEF is consciously attempting to supplant Jesus.
Beh, sai, sentirlo con Gesù nella culla in questo periodo, ammetto che comunque fa un po' senso.
I mean, all this story about Jesus rising from the dead and being the Son of God, this is fake news.
Humans are now hackable animals.
Che Gesù è figlio di Dio come profeta, se pensiamo all'Islam, anche loro hanno il loro profeta che è Mohammed, che non è figlio di Dio, però insomma, non adesso.
You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will.
Tra poco mi scatta qualcosa, però starò calmo. Ecco my free will. Di stare calmo.
And nobody knows what's happening inside me, so whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.
According to the WEF, Jesus is fake news, God is dead, and you do not have a soul. You are a hackable animal who does not have the capacity for free will.
Ecco, preparatevi, it's over. It's all over. We're done.
The World Economic Forum has spent decades quietly infiltrating democratically elected governments,
Volevo ripeterlo io, ma ci ha pensato lui. Bravo.
penetrating cabinets, and wielding an outsized influence on the world from the corridors of Schwab's Swiss hideout in Davos.
So that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
Meno male che hanno tradotto perché facevo un po' fatica pure io.
These tyrants have now become arrogant and sure of their own success. They are no longer hiding in the shadows and pulling puppet strings from behind the curtain.
Ma è da secoli che dicono ciò che fanno. È una regola d'oro, it's the golden rule. Devono dire tutto ciò che fanno. Con tanta persuasione, ovviamente. Poi sanno che non vai a leggere. Sei andato a leggere.
According to Schwab, it is his role to shape the transformation of the world in the current period. And unsurprisingly, he admires the Chinese system of state-control authoritarianism.
On the G20, you were there meeting some of the leaders as well. Professor Schwab, what do you make of the result? Finally, they put something as a statement, and it seems quite positive with all the voices included.
I think it's positive. It's already positive through the fact that everybody agreed about the statement, which we haven't had the last years. Now the base has been formed, but we have to go one step further. We have to have a strategic mood. We have to construct the world of tomorrow. It's a systemic transformation of the world. So we have to define how the world should look like, which we want to come out of this transformation period.
Beh, qualcosa è già cambiata ultimamente. Mi sbaglio? Acceleriamo l'uomo un attimo.
I think it's a role model for many countries.
Quindi sempre più pro-Cina dietro le quinte a questo punto. Quindi se pensiamo alla questione geopolitica con tutto ciò, interessante. Quindi per loro è un modello da seguire.
With world leaders and cabinets firmly under their control, Western democracy has been decimated. Trudeau's Canada has become a wasteland of authoritarian control. Jacinda Ardern's New Zealand is arguably even more tightly controlled by the Davos technocrats. Why should they respect us and our human and constitutional rights if they see us as hackable animals incapable of free thought?
Domanda più che lecita, anzi, domanda sensata.
Take a look at Brazil for a glimpse of the future. President Bolsonaro's supporters are protesting what they claim to be a wildly unfair and corrupt election. WEF favourite Lula, who hasn't even taken office yet, has already started enacting Klaus Schwab's playbook, freezing the bank accounts of protesters amid a chilling crackdown on freedom of speech and the right to protest peacefully.
No comment.
First Canada, now Brazil. Next, the United States.
Beh, Europa, Francia, Spagna, Austria, Italia?
French billionaire Philippe Argillier claims he has 4 databases that will expose 38 individuals who control the whole world and run the shadow government. Bill Gates, who needs no introduction, is one of those 38 unelected individuals who control the daily lives of 8 billion people.
Beh, se uno paga, uno controlla. Vecchio come il cuco.
According to Argillier, he can prove the Biden administration takes direct orders from this shadow government.
And altogether, 38 individuals run the daily lives of 8 billion people on Earth. Maria, the shadow government is the entity that is behind most, if not all, elected government that tell them what to do and what not to do based upon geopolitical agreements, most of them anchored in military abroad interventions.
Ma no, è per garantire la sicurezza delle persone.
That's what the shadow government is.
Ora accelero un attimo perché entra troppo in politica, anche se dice delle cose sensate, però non è il canale adatto.
And I can tell you today that the Biden administration is under the control of the shadow government. I can confirm this without any hesitation based upon the information that I have.
If you want a sneak peek of the future under this shadow government, it's worth paying attention to Bill Gates' latest announcement. Gates has a history of playing God. Robert F. Kennedy warned us about this trait in Gates' psychology years ago. According to Kennedy Jr., the World Health Organization is conducting global social and medical experimentation in accordance with the vision of their mega donor, Bill Gates,
Attualità.
and his religious faith that he can use technology, vaccines and GMO agriculture to make him the savior of all humanity.
Devo bere. Qualcuno mi lancia una bottiglia d'acqua? Thanks.
Gates' strategy of buying World Health Organization and purchasing control of US health officials like Tony Fauci and Deborah Birx means the Microsoft co-founder can now dictate global health policies affecting 7 billion people and to control the most intimate details of our lives, said Kennedy Jr. on his Instagram page. Just last week, Gates, in his role as false savior, was caught telling world leaders that it's time for death panels to decide who has the right to live and die.
Is spending $1 million on that last 3 months of life for that patient would it be better not to lay off those 10 teachers and to make that trade-off in medical costs? But that's called the death panel, and you're not supposed to have that discussion.
Sì, l'ha detto sul serio. L'ha detto sul serio.
So you, of course,
Well,
we're
that's
making...
an interesting thing you just said, which is just the last 3 months in life for one person or something, because we haven't had a discussion of how to allocate that money. It means we lay off 3 teachers to do so. I mean, in other words, we
That's
haven't
right.
had this type
Society's
of allocation.
We're making
discussion.
that trade-off because of huge medical costs that are not examined to see which ones actually have no benefit whatsoever.
Well, wait,
and because of pension generosity, we will be laying off over 100,000 teachers, which, you know, I'm very much against that. And the whole AFT will agree with me on that.
Beh, se paghi, sponsorizzi, ti intrufoli ovunque con i tuoi milioni e miliardi, temo che tante persone appunto ti daranno ragione.
Of course, Gates's death panels have everything to do with the globalist elite's obsession with depopulation. This is the brutal, soulless world Gates and the shadow government at the World Economic Forum are determined to roll out as part of their Great Reset. We can't allow their evil religion to become the new normal.
Bene, siamo arrivati alla fine del video, non c'è tanto da aggiungere, perché questo video soltanto per creare un po' di consapevolezza. Stavo cercando delle cose che riguardano l'OMS, impostazione, cose, i miei studi, le cose mie, e sono imbattuto anche in questo. Wow. What can I say? Consapevolezza, libertà. Stay focused, use your brain, be open-minded, stay healthy. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.